Okay, so first we looked at why you should buy an uncompleted building. Then next we looked at why you should not even buy an uncompleted building. And in today's video, we are going to look at if you do decide to purchase an uncompleted building, what are the things you need to look out for, or how do you go about buying an uncompleted building? And if you have any property for sale or you want us to advertise your property, send us an email. Our email is in the description below. And with that said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so the first thing you need to consider when you want to purchase an uncompleted building is the price. How much is the price of the building and what is the true value of the property that you are intending to purchase? And how do you do that? It's good if you can get like an inspector to go with you to inspect the property. So the same way we buy cars and we take our mechanics to go and inspect the cars, especially if the car has been driven by somebody previously, like it's not a brand new car, it's a second-hand car, you need to also get somebody who is qualified, has experience in inspecting buildings to go with you to inspect and see if you are really getting good value for the property, right? So because if you purchase an uncompleted building, you're also going to use money to complete it, finish it. It might not have doors, it might have doors not to your taste, it might not have tiles. So many things that you may need to do, or you may need to do renovation works, break certain parts, fix certain parts, and things like that. So having somebody who can inspect and tell you the true value of the property is priceless. Next, you also need to consider where is the location of the property. So the fact that somebody sends us a video that he's selling a property for sale and it's within your budget doesn't necessarily mean you should buy it, right? Because one, how far away is it from where you work, where your family and your friends are, things like that, right? So I'm talking about location. I'm not talking about whether it's on a waterway or it's like on a place which has been demarcated for a road or something. We'll come to those later, but you need to consider how far away is the property. The farther you move from the capital and the farther you move from like the airports in most cities, the cheaper the property should be, right? And the closer you move to the airport or to the center of town, the central business district, the central business district, the central business district, the more expensive it's going to be. So those are general rules to keep in mind. Next, you need to treat your uncompleted building as if you are buying like land, right? The same caution and the same level of due diligence you're going to do when you're purchasing land is the same level you need to treat your uncompleted building. So you need to check for like the documentation, you need to check, do your search at Lands Commission and all that to see if the person who is selling you the property has the right to even sell you the property, because there are many people who have bought properties and later they got to know that it has been sold to somebody else as well. Same way lands can be sold to 100 people is the same way an uncompleted building can be sold to multiple people. So you need to make sure the person who is selling it to you has the right to sell to you. Where's the land title? You need to check all these things before you make any payment. Next, if you're looking at what kind of uncompleted buildings are safe for me to purchase, well, generally, if like the building is being sold by like a bank, auctioning because somebody was unable to pay for a loan they came for and they used the building as collateral, that's kind of a safe thing to do, right? Because the banks would have all the legal documents. They would have conducted all their due diligence before they gave the person a loan, right? It's just because the person defaulted and the person can't pay off or the person died or whatever, that's why they are selling it off. And so that is a good way. If you hear any bank is selling a property, it's a good investment. If it meets your budget, it's at the right location, and the quality of the building and everything is up to your spec, I would say go for it. Another thing you need to consider is like, why is the person selling it? Like if it's not a bank which is selling it and it's an individual, a family, why are they selling it? If like, for example, they are traveling outside of the country and they are moving all their family along with them, maybe because they got some immigration visa or some green card or something to the United States or Canada or Europe, and they want to sell it off because they do not intend to come back, that's a good property to buy, right? Of course, you must do your due diligence. If the owner is selling it because maybe they have multiple properties and they are a bit cash strapped, you need to ask the right questions if that's the reason. It could also be a good property for you to buy, but you need to definitely find out why the person is selling the property. Sometimes it could be because the person has like land issues, or there are issues with the property and they want to sell it and run away, right? So you need to ask the right questions to ensure you don't get a bad deal. Or maybe the person didn't get the right permits to build, maybe the house is going to be broken down or something after a period. You just don't know it, right? So you need to make all your inquiries. Check, 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 check is the name of the game. Next, you need to find the state of the property. Like you need to do an inspection, a thorough inspection, like having mechanical engineers, structural engineers, all types of engineers come and look at the property would help you to get a good idea about whether it's safe to buy it or not. Especially people complain because like you don't know the quality of the foundation and all, but if the owner who is selling it to you has like videos or pictures of the processes they went through to build the foundation and all that, that's a good starting place. But if you don't, get a structural engineer to come and check. Another thing you can do is to visit the property during like periods when it's raining, right? And check to see if the rain is coming in, if there are leakages and things like that, right? And also check to see if there are cracks on the walls and stuff like that. If the pillars have cracks, check if the iron rods, you can see some of them sticking out. You can check to see the quality of iron rods and that they used, and all these will help to give you an idea. Inspection and going with a professional can never be overemphasized. The same way you would not buy a second-hand car without going with a mechanic. If you do so, like I don't know what to say, but you need to go with a professional to check the quality of the structure. Especially also if you want to like add on multiple floors, like maybe it's just the ground floor but the person did a floor, like in my case, and you want to add a first floor, a second floor. You need to go and check all these to ensure that the first floor, the second floor you want to build can accommodate the structure of the building, right? And then also you need to check the building plans from the previous owner. Did they intend to build just a ground floor but you want to make it a 3-story building, or did they have plans for a 3-story building and they did foundation for a 3-story building? You need to find out all those before you commit any money. Really, really, really important. Next, you need to check if the building has the necessary permits, right? Because in Ghana and other countries, if you start building and you don't have the permits, before you realize your municipal assembly or your district assembly has come and has written stop work, produce permits, and that process for you to get out of it takes a long time and a lot of money. So check to see if the owner has the needed permits before you complete it, right? And very, very, very important, you need to make sure that all the documentation are in place. In the next video, I'll be sharing with you the best apps, mobile apps, banking apps, fintech apps for sending money to your people who are supervising your projects, or for paying your laborers, whether you're in Ghana or you're in your diaspora, especially to avoid the taxes, the e-levy, the multiple charges, and how to save money on some of these, and many, 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 many more exciting tips to help you in your building journey. So why don't you subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed? And if you found this video helpful, kindly press the like button. I hear when you press the like button, it has some nice animation. Press it and leave a comment below. Have you purchased the house? What's your experience like? Have you purchased an uncompleted building? What's your experience like? Or would you prefer to just buy land? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks, Bibri.